I'm Michael Pink, the Artistic Director for the Milwaukee Ballet. The Genesis International Choreographic Competition really began in 2002, and the idea was to bring together three very interesting and dynamic choreographers. One would win the competition, and when I took over the idea of the competition, I wanted to make sure that we could bring together some of the most exciting emerging talent from around the world. So the important part for me was it became the International Genesis Choreographic Competition. And since that time, up until this current competition, we have really entertained choreographers truly from around the world. They come together, they create a work here on our dancers. They're each assigned 8 dancers, 4 male, 4 female, and their job is to work with those dancers and produce something that really they feel is a collaboration, a representation of that talent and their talent. The winner is selected from a panel of judges, and that winner will then return the following year and create another work for the company. So the idea being that the winning choreographer will actually end up creating 2 works, of which hopefully one, if not both, would go on to enter the repertoire of other companies. Each year we get so many choreographers who do send in their work to be considered, and once we've shortlisted our choreographers and we've arrived at our 3 finalists, then we can really begin to start to look at each of the choreographers for their unique styles.
Hello, my name is DaYoung Jung. I am originally from Korea. I am a principal dancer with Oklahoma City Ballet. For this work, I wanted to explore depth within simplicity. I was listening to this music, just a piano and violin, and as I listened, just these 2 instruments, I found space to create colorful movement and musicality. My work, I titled it Vignettes. This is more an abstract athletic work split into 8 different sections. It's done on point, but using the point work as a vehicle to explore contemporary movement. For this opportunity, I really wanted to see how different group of dancers are working together. So there will be trios, ladies section, men's section. So it was really interesting to see my movement looks on different bodies, and I think we've created something beautiful together.
Hi, I'm Nadine Barton. I am currently based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and I currently dance with the Charlotte Ballet. I've been choreographing for about 10 years. I started choreographing when I was in the high school dance team. When I started seeing the dance team captains leading the room, I knew I could do that and I wanted to do that. The process has been a lot. On our first couple of days, I wanted to sit down with the dancers and, look at them and see their faces for just a moment, know who's in front of me, and meet them for who they are as people and not just as if they were machines, My piece is called Not As We Expected. It's kind of a end of the world scenario. This piece lives in a more contemporary dance theater realm. The piece begins with a wedding, and it's very light and bright. They later find out that an asteroid is coming, and the tone of the piece completely changes. The music is a collective of different artists. In this particular piece, I have used some, I don't know, it's a bit funky. It's kind of, I wanted it to be, it's an end of the world stories, so I wanted the music to carry us through a ride. I use a lot of percussion, but I also have a lot of strings to create a little bit more expansive environment. I find inspiration in everything, in people, in music, in contact, in conversation, in the way that you look at somebody. Inspiration is everywhere. Art is for everybody. This time, especially in today's day, I think that this is the moment that people need to really speak up and express themselves in any form that they can, especially the arts.
My name is Suddarth, and I am visiting from the Pacific Northwest Ballet in Seattle, Washington. The title of my work is Aftermath, and this is something I've been working on conceptually for years, long before COVID was part of our lives, but it seems especially fitting now to ask the question, how does someone pick up the pieces after some traumatic event? And this piece sort of asks the questions, what happens when all of those tools that we have to protect ourselves and to keep ourselves comfortable are broken down? This was inspired years ago after the airport bombing in Brussels. You see these stories of people's worlds just collapsing in and how they rebuild. It's an interesting question, and I thought this would be a great thing to explore through dance. I think everybody has, to some degree, a shared experience of their world as they knew it, at the very least, completely being decimated, and how we rediscover and redefine ourselves as we emerge out of our individual quarantines. Being at Milwaukee Ballet is really, really incredible. This is a special place. Of course, the dancers are immensely talented. I think there's something special here that really fosters creativity and collaboration. The Genesis project in particular has been an adventure. It's very interesting. You know, you usually go through a casting process, you try to get to know your dancers, the dancers, before you select them. There was none of that. And while that's daunting, it also kind of feels like a family. You don't get to choose your family, but you have to love them regardless. Each of my 8 dancers, plus the Milwaukee Ballet 2 dancers, have brought something special, something interesting, and a great energy to the space. It's incredibly special to be back in person, creating work for live performance. Just like performing as a dancer on stage, live for live audiences again. It feels kind of surreal at times, but at the same time it feels like coming home. It feels like all the time has passed and no time has passed all at the same time. I spent about a year creating work for film, but from my basement with 7-foot-high ceilings. I wasn't able to dance. I wasn't in person with most dancers. We were through a computer screen, different time zones. It was a crazy, crazy experience, but it worked. And everybody bought into it. And not that we want to go back there, but there's something very special and very unique about that. And it's a skill that we were not taught when we were in school, that nobody knew before 2019. Nobody knew that that was even possible. And there's something, I think the challenge is bringing those skills and those tools along with us, and how do we then take this very hard 2-year period of time and use it to boost this art form forward and keep it alive, keep it fresh for the next 150 years.